What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla spying a couple more tickers. I want to break down what's going on with the economic calendar, which you should be watching for as time goes on. And also what's happening with Tesla stock, as we have some very, very important updates to be discussing. Before I break down all this information, before I talk about some big news that just came out that helped Tesla push a bit, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. So, anyway, some news came out that Tesla's once again doing very, very well. They're getting closer to a new delivery record quarter in China after the latest registration data. And other sources are saying that Tesla should most likely be on track to break its all-time high record and to reach its expectations of 1.8 million deliveries for the entire calendar year. Now, I think there's a very, very good chance Tesla will meet those targets. Tesla has a history of meeting them, doing relatively well. And look at the insurance registrations in China. This is just adding to the good news. Basically, they're up 1% from the prior week at 18,500, which is good so far. And that's once again some very, very great growth. The Model 3 is also very popular over there as they're revamping it. That's great news as well. So once again, very, very awesome stuff. They're on track to meeting their deliveries targets and they're looking very, very bright for Q4. So it's good news for Tesla. Very, very awesome stuff. That's part of why Tesla pumps the way it did. But there are some things I want to break down about Tesla in just a couple of minutes. I also want to mention one quick thing. When it comes to economic data, at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the 3-month bill auction and 6-month bill auction. Watch for a little volatility at that time. Besides that, guys, it's a very quiet day. There's not really a whole lot coming out, not really much data, and we're just kind of seeing a lot of like trend range bound price action, nothing too crazy. As far as Tesla goes, I want to show you guys something very interesting. So Tesla looks very stationary overall. You could argue that we have this resistance, right, between you could argue it's between 258 to 260, which is where Tesla tends to get these rejections. You could even argue we have some resistance at 257. That's kind of like where we rejected today. Then we also have supports between 250 and 247 around that range. We tend to see a lot of buyers step in. So like right here, we touched our supports, we bounced, touched support, we bounced, touched resistance, we rejected, we bounced, rejected, bounced, and once again, we're still just kind of stuck right here. So overall, Tesla is still range bound. Overall, it's still stuck in this range, not really doing a whole lot. It may continue to do so, but we'll be watching to see what deliveries data tells us. We're just a couple of days away from it. It's not that far away. By next week, we're going to find out how things go. And if anything, I would say that I'm very excited about it. This could be very awesome for Tesla, and we'll just be watching to see how Tesla does. Right now, Tesla has some very interesting levels. We have some resistance at this 257 area and also 258. And right now, we're just kind of shuffling between the 256. It's not really doing a whole lot. On top of this, we're just kind of like losing some volume, getting very, very flat right now. Volume is not that great. Watch support right over here at this 20 EMA area at 255.58. That's going to be one level that's very important. If we lose this 20 EMA, Tesla has support at 255 flat, very close to the 50 EMA at 254.93. And then below that, you have 254.24, the 200 EMA on the 5-minute time frame. So watch that very carefully. If we lose this, expect this thing to drop even more towards 254. If that fails us, then we could get very close to the 252s. So those are supports on Tesla. I just wanted to call out the levels for you guys just so you could know. Uh, as of right now, it's just shuffling, not really doing much. It's been stuck for the past hour, kind of between 257 and 256 ish, maybe a little bit below that. Just stuck back and forth, kind of boring. So make sure you watch these levels. Watch 257 is resistance. Don't forget above that, there's 258, and we're just kind of stuck so far. Now, what about for SPY? What's going on with SPY? I want to call out that SPY is showing a little bit of weakness, but it's not that bad overall. It's just kind of shuffling as well. This whole day, our range has been about a little bit over $1, so it's only moved a little bit over a point. My point is, it's been stuck for the most part, not really doing a whole lot. We started off with a little drop right here, which is our liquidity grab. We're just triggering stops at just under 474. So that's why we hit 473.99. They grabbed liquidity, then they pushed it back up. They just barely, broke above 475, and we've been shuffling since. And now we're just stuck. We're just stuck basically going back and forth and back and forth. Very boring price action. What are some levels to watch for? So watch 475. That's going to be our first resistance. We do have resistance at the high of the day, and then we have a very tight resistance around 475.38 to 475.5. Very, very tight levels of resistance right there because that's where our high was from Friday. For support, watch the 20 EMA at 474.74. Then we have 474.5 at the 50 EMA, 474 flat below that. Then there's 473.85 at the 200 EMA, on the 5 minutes time frame. Those are some levels to watch for on SPY. We're kind of stuck shuffling around, but there is something important I want to show you on SPY. SPY is still in a very, very decent place because when you look at the charts, we have this nice uptrend that's been established. It's been holding up quite nicely, holding the support. So hypothetically, right, if you're bullish, you want to see this thing just basically kind of like hold up, hold this support right here, this trend line right there, and then start just pushing like this. That's going to be like the more bullish case. And so far, we've been doing this. So we are technically uptrending, respecting, and favoring the bulls a bit more. To turn bearish, if you want to turn into a bear, guys, here's what I'm going to be watching for. I want to see this break, this line right over here break, and then we have to lose 474 if that's the case. That's like the more bearish case if we get some kind of break like that. But let me just note that right now that has not happened, and we are still favoring the bulls a slightly bit more. So we're favoring the bulls a bit more. We're holding up support. That's very important to note. On the QQQ, it's the same thing basically. We're favoring the bulls a bit more, holding support. We're just shuffling around 410, not really doing a whole lot. We're just kind of stuck right now. If you want to be bearish, you want to see this trend line break right here, and you want to see a breakdown to 408. As of right now, it hasn't really done that. It's just kind of stuck in the 410s. So make sure you watch. I would say that 410 area very, very carefully. That's going to be like where we're shuffling right now. And then if we break above that, there's going to be 411, very, very close to 411 above that. So then we have like 412. For support, make sure you watch 409.6, 409.15. Then we have, if that fails us, then we could get very close to 408.8, then 408. Right now, the QQQ is kind of stuck, not really doing a whole lot. Apple stock is also kind of stuck. It's just stuck, kind of shuffling in a very tight range. Very boring day again. It is the day after Christmas, guys, so I don't really find this that surprising. Historically, though, the market does tend to kind of either shuffle or do a little bit well during this time, but once again, it's just the first day after Christmas, so we'll just see how it goes. Apple has been favoring the bears a bit more because we're on a downtrend, but right now, so it's been downtrending overall. But here's the thing about Apple right now. I mean, it hasn't really done much today. Specifically, it's been stuck. Even though it's been on a downtrend today, it's just been stuck. It's not really worth trading, in my opinion, unless you want to like buy shares or something. It's not really worth scalping or anything like that. If we break this support, so we have some support at 193. If that fails, let's watch 192.5, 192 below that. Resistance, watch 193.5. Then we have this trend line right over here that's acting as a resistance. Make sure you watch that carefully. If this breaks, watch this thing kind of like attempts to break the very high 193s. If we break above this trend line, we could turn bullish and see a test of 194.4. I would like to see this thing break that for us to turn bullish. So far, it hasn't broken 194.4. We've been downtrending overall. So it's looking a little weaker right here, but watch that 193 range. We're seeing some buyers trying to defend it. If that fails us, watch for 192.5. As of right now, Apple's very flat, not really doing much, but the overall trend still favors the bears a bit more for now. Nvidia is starting to hold up decently. So if you look at Nvidia, we had this channel. We broke below it temporarily, but I told you to wait and see if Nvidia breaks back into the channel. If we reject like this to retest the blue trend line, instead we ended up pushing back into the channel. So we're trying to hold up. You could see how it pushed up, it came back down, and now it's trying to hold support. So it's back where it was before on a decent trend. So watch, in my opinion, this wick right over here is very close to this 193.2. I'm sorry, not 493.25 resistance. Then we have 495 above that. If that breaks, there's going to be 496 and 498 for support. If we get this break to the downside, make sure you watch this 490 area. It's going to be very key for it. And 488, that's a very, very nice range for it. I would say to watch that. Below that, we have 485 coming next. If we end up losing that support, you can see how these ranges are just playing out. So far, it's just holding up decently. And on an intraday basis, it's kind of boring. There's not really a whole lot going on with Nvidia. On the 5 minute time frame, for instance, it is just kind of stuck back and forth price action. Not a whole lot is going on with it. So make sure you watch the range that I called out. We're just kind of stuck, and we'll just see how it goes from here. But it looks like it's going to see some low volume, just kind of like shuffle for a bit. And we might just see most of the market just do that. All right, so Tesla's actually showing some life of all things. Tesla's showing a little bit of life right now, but everything else is looking kind of flat. Not really a whole lot is going on. So I'm pretty much done for my trading day. I'm sure a lot of people are done too. Do what you have to do, guys. I'll be back later on for more videos. Have a very, very great day, and happy Boxing Day to people around the world. Hope you guys are having a great day, a great weekend. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you, and peace out.